Hello, it's Bailey and welcome back to my channel. Today, you can tell it's the perfect December day because I have my Christmas jammies on, but also it is like a dreary, snowy day. We had a Christmas get canceled that was supposed to be today, so we're just kind of hanging out as a family, having a good Christmassy time. I'm preparing to wrap gifts tomorrow, so I've been like getting all my wrapping paper out, getting all my gifts in one spot so I can do that tomorrow. But I wanted to sit down and kind of talk about what is now going to be considered season 1 of Jokes on Me, my TBR game. I'm mostly like reinvigorated about this in this exact moment because Ruby from Ruby Red, who made and remade my board, just sent me the final copy of my board for season 2 in 2024. So I am just like so excited. I've seen the new board, and yeah, I kind of wanted to reflect on this past year of, you know, me starting to play this game again, as well as, you know, maybe hint at why some things on the new board have changed. The new board is not that different from her. I just requested like overall a color change for the board, as well as I like reshuffled some prompts. I really only removed a couple prompts and added a couple new things where those things were removed. Overall, it's not that different. But I do really want to be preparing myself to hopefully be able to finish this task in 2024. So season 2 being the final season in which the goal is to be getting my TBR down to 0, my physical TBR. And so I want to let you know how the 5 rounds that I played in late 2022, but mostly 2023, kind of got me where I am right now. I do also want to say I wasn't the best at tracking all of these things going in to season 1. Like, I don't know the exact number that my TBR started at. I have the number that at the end of round 1 I was at, which at that point I was at 111, but I ended the season with 76 books on my physical TBR. I have been a little bit naughty, so when I go into season 2, I will let you know how many books I'm starting season 2 with on my physical TBR. It is more than 76, but I know for sure I'm still under the 100 mark, so that's kind of the range I'm sitting in, I guess. But in total, over these 5 episodes, I did read a total of 56 books. That makes my average books per round 11.2, which is, it is what it is, I guess. I don't have control over how long the rounds are, so there's certain numbers that like there's nothing I could do about. For instance, this really just depends on how the cards go, but some of them in terms of like how many were actually off my physical TBR, I had a little bit more say in. I could have done a little better. And so that number, so 56 being how many books I read for Jokes on Me, 33 of them were off of my physical TBR, making that only an average of 6.6 per round. I would like this number to be a little bit better for the next season. In general, my like rules, I guess, for how I'm playing Jokes on Me and where I choose these books from, I do want them to be mostly from my physical TBR, but I do also allow them to be arcs, as well as like any required books for me to read. And by required books, that's like books I've committed to reading. So I participate in my book club as well as some other book clubs, and so those are mostly also what I let myself kind of choose from. The My Choice books, so I do 3 card flips in a My Choice book in each episode. My Choice books do not have to follow those guidelines, so that mostly is why that discrepancy is there in terms of reading 56 and only 33 of them being from my physical TBR, but I just really want to finish this project in the next year, so I'm hoping to choose more of my Choice books as still stuff from my physical TBR. I do think this next stat is kind of interesting because for both a king and a queen, I get to buy a book, but for only a jack, I have to unhaul a book. And so I actually was only allowed to buy 7 books, but I flipped to unhaul 10 times. So I flipped a jack more than I flipped both a king and a queen, which is fairly interesting. I would like if the game was a little nicer to me about this, but I understand that the stats being this way actually helped me make more progress than if it was the opposite. So over these 5 rounds, I did play a total of 17 episodes, making that average of episodes per round 3.4. I'd like to push myself to get to 20 episodes. It's hard to make a goal for how many rounds I want to complete because, like I said, the length of those rounds can vary so much, but I think that episodes are a little bit easier to control. So having completed 17 in the previous year, I would like to make a goal to finish 20 in this coming year. This next thing here is like the one thing that I really wanted changed for the board next year, because this whole year I only landed on the readathon space twice, and then I landed on it once, which was a do an opposite of the prompt, so that like took away a week. So technically I only earned 1 week of doing readathons throughout this past year, and that just wasn't realistic. So this was an area of the game that I technically like cheated on, but like who was only gonna do 1 week of readathons in a whole year? Not me. So I'll spoil for the new board, I did remove a prompt and add a third readathon space. I'm hoping just in general adding another space helps me, as well as just hopefully luck in landing on those spaces more this year. But yeah, kind of screwed myself there. And then the final stat for how long each round took me in days was 66.25 days per round. So that's like over 2 months per round. I do think it's silly because my friends in the month of November were playing my TBR game, joke's on me, some of my friends, and I think some of them thought they were going to be able to complete an entire round in the month, and I was like, I have never completed a round in a month, but you know, go for it. So I think they maybe learned that the hard way a little bit, but I do hope that they had fun. I will go ahead and link down below. I think Ruby played, Martine played, Lizzie played. I don't think anybody else played. I think it was Ruby, Martine, and Lizzie all played my game in November, so I'll link their videos so far down below. I know Lizzie was maybe going to continue to try to finish her round, even though she didn't finish it in the month, but I would love if you would go support them, as well as, you know, my game, while I haven't been playing it. Season 2 of Jokes on Me will be starting, I'll be starting reading for it the second week of February, so you will probably get the first season 2 episode like late February for me. I am taking the first 5 weeks to host my readathon, squash that series. If you haven't seen that announcement, let me talk about it again. I'll link it in the cards. The card's definitely on this side. But yeah, that's kind of where my time is leading me. If you have any input for season 2 of Jokes on Me, what you would like to see me do differently, I do think I'm going to stick to the 3 card flips plus a my choice book per episode situation. But yeah, leave me any feedback, I guess, that you want to. Give Jokes on Me some hype. Let me know. Predict the colors that you think Ruby chose for the season 2 board, I guess. That would be fun, because now that I've seen it, I know what colors they are. Go ahead and let me know what you wish the colors were, even though they're not going to get changed now, because I do love what she chose. So yeah, guess the colors down below. And thank you for spending some time with me today, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.